Hello, YouTube.
Hello, Internet.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I should say, welcome to my podcast. Let me get in my spot. It's my spot. But first, before we get started, follow me on Twitter. Never mind. Go follow me on Kick at Will Penner. Kick.com/Will Penner. Please go follow me now. It really helps me out a lot. So follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all X, I should say. All at Will Penner. My Facebook and Kick is at Will Penner. Go to WillPennerExtra.com if you want to see more content and extra content on your kids streams. Also, go check out the live channel and style channel. Will Penner solo.2/Will TV. So yeah, I'm starting a podcast with my mom. She'll be out soon, but she just wanted me to do the intro first. We're gonna be doing multiple episodes/seasons, so yeah. So far, we have 3 seasons planned out. Each one has at least 3 to 4 or 5 episodes. I'm gonna name off every episode. We have so far 12 episodes planned out. The first episode today is welcome to my podcast /nutrition. We're gonna be doing a nutrition podcast with my amazing mom. She'll be out soon, like I said. But the second episode is fitness and nutrition with Fernando. Candeloro. God dang it. We're gonna be doing he's my coach. He's my bodybuilding, powerlifting coach, you could say. And our second episode is powerlifting with Tyler Thamos. He's my second coach. And how to get fit with Mellissa. Okay, my mom, so it's another episode with that. And then season 1 ends. It's gonna be like a 10-minute video. It'll be like the end of the season or something. And then season 2 is what was life like 100 years ago. People from 100 years ago. How do you think you stayed alive? So, and then that's the end of season 3, 4, 2. Season 3 is conspiracy. World War III, ? Conspiracy theory, next terrorist attack. Conspiracy theory, who is the next president? Conspiracy theory, celebrities who faked their death. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this series. And enjoy your day. I don't know. Subscribe to me on all my channels, I guess. Smile.com, ymznetworth.com. But just go to smile.com. Also, this is called Will Show. Will Show. You guys don't get that. Will Show. I even have a playlist about it. And my dog. Hello, Jim. Where's my dog? Oh, cat. Help me. Joe, kind of get like a shot at that. That's a dog. You see that dog? Hey, doggy, say hi to the camera. Dog, I know you don't like the camera, but say hi. Say hi, bud. Holy crap, Opie. You do not like the camera, apparently. See, I have a whole team of productions over there. I'm kidding. They're not here, because that'd be weird. It's them in my house. So guys, while we're filming this, it's windy as heck. Wait. Look at how windy it is. I know you guys can't see it, so I'm gonna go. Hello, people. Dog, get out your way. Okay. Jeez, Opie, ew. You're a disgusting dog. But basically, this is my podcast. My mom hopefully will be out soon. She'll be sitting right here. She's going to explain to us fitness nutrition. Also, go check out her Instagram page at A Lifestyle Nutrition. It's a company that she owns. Oh my gosh. I don't have my pillow with me, but subscribe to the channel. just like go to your TV, turn it sideways, and click subscribe. Like, gonna get a close up of that. Nothing.
You sound like Sam.
I'm doing my intro. Yeah, subscribe. If you unsubscribe like that, it won't do anything. Just click it, and then it will say subscribed. Yeah. Hopefully, I'm honestly okay. So I don't know who's getting the blanket. It's the Ohio Hawkeyes. Like, basically, this episode's gonna be like about nutrition, health, powerlifting, and this is the first of 12, I think. Put the number on the screen, I don't know if you get it right. 12. So yeah, let's wait just a little bit, and yeah. So now, guys, we had a little bit of a change in directions, just like face the wall. So it looks a little bit different, and yeah, clutter in the background. Okay, so we're going. So this is my mom slash mom. She's a professional powerlifter. What?
I am, kind of. I've done competitions and won some state medals and brought home some team trophies and team competitions, so I guess that does make me a professional.
I have also done some competitions, I guess, but I haven't gotten state records
Yet.
So I kind of introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Will's mom. Thanks for having me here today.
Welcome.
And actually, Will is kind of one of the reasons I'm where I am today. I'm a mom of 3.
Will, Joe, and Sam.
That's right.
You guys all know him.
Mm-hmm.
Seen him.
And I'm also a nurse and a nurse educator. And then I'm also a certified nutrition coach. And a lot of those things have only happened once Will was born in this world. But about 11 years ago, I decided I needed to get a little bit healthier. I had been married for about 10 years. We had put on a lot of weight. We sat around a lot. And as I tried to get my body ready to have babies, I was not feeling healthy in my own skin. So then I started to use the gym. And I went to one of those 24/7. And I rode the elliptical a lot. And then I just started walking. And I said, well, I want to be healthier. Hopefully I can have babies, but then when they're around, I want to be healthier. And so I lost some weight, maybe like 100 pounds. Right? I know, but it's amazing how much the weight can get on and add up before you know it. So then I started, I was fortunate enough to have Will. And then after that, his brother Joe came along really quickly, like 20 months later.
22.
And 21 months, exactly.
21
months. And so then after he was born in June, and by November I had decided that if I was going to be able to push 2 kids around in a stroller and keep up with them, I had to take better care of myself. And so I started at this boot camp style kind of gym. I was not real comfortable with lifting weights. I didn't know my way around the weight room. And I got assigned a pretty phenomenal coach. You're going to meet him here in a couple weeks.
Next 2 weeks, the next episode of this podcast are going to be fun.
Okay.
And then in 4 weeks, you'll Tyler.
Exactly. Then I made other connections. And now it's been 8 years, and I've been fortunate enough to train with the same coach and a pretty incredible growing team of people that are just focused on really doing better for our own bodies. It's not a competition or about becoming a professional. In fact, my first powerlifting meet was by chance. There is this Raise the Bar initiative in the state of Iowa, and they hold the Women's Barbell Classic every year. And the first competition, Fernando and my team was getting ready to do it. They're like, hey, Mellissa, you're pretty strong. Why don't you come join us? At that time, I weighed just above 200 pounds. And I went in there and I did a pretty good job. I ended up coming home with a medal. But what really happened from that point on was it started the excitement of learning how to train, setting goals for myself, and then showing up and doing it. Because we work and train every day, it's really about training for life. It's about developing this mental toughness, right? To be able to finish what we start. We have to finish our sets and our reps, and that goes so far in our lives. And then also to be able to become a little bit more nimble and mobile. I ended up having to have both of my knees replaced. I'm 46. That's kind of young to have this done. It was done at 42, 43. And that means that I had to go into surgery and have metal put into my knees. And they're like, oh, I hope you can walk again. Man, we had bigger plans. So again, it was about getting your body tightened up, very clean nutrition, and then being dedicated to finishing what I started. So with rehab, it was about 6 weeks after I had both knees replacement. I was back on both feet again. That happened in March, and then that first powerlifting competition happened to be that fall in October.
And I'm not trying to like change the attitude of this competition, but like at that time, when you got your knees replaced, we were going like moving like to a new house.
Right? Oh, you're not kidding. Life happens. I went through a divorce. Will, our entire family, went through a lot of change. I moved, became a single mom out of the sudden, a single working mom. And so it wasn't that I had a bunch of time and I could afford all the fancy gyms or I could spend extra time worrying about exercising. No, I needed to really prioritize making it a part of my lifestyle. But that was something that I really valued, and even more than ever, I wanted that for my 3 children so they could see me as an example. Anybody can talk about it and say, ooh, we need to do these things. But once until you take control of yourself and make that choice, that's really the only time that we can really start to make changes. So, Will, I appreciate that. You're right. It was a time, and you can either use that time of trial to like simplify things, or you can really use that to propel you forward into getting to your full potential. Being a single mom or a mom with full support, with a traditional or unusual, whatever the marriage situation is, whatever the family dynamic is, becoming a mom, you're never going to have more time, but you need to figure out how to make more efficient with the time that you do have.
And like even now, we go to like this a gym like two times a week, 2 to 3 times a week. Wednesday, Saturday, sometimes Monday. Mm-hmm. But like it's just like yeah, and like now I'm trying to like start like weight goal, like getting stronger and like being happy with my life.
It is. It's really about doing something for you. A lot of times we do what the teacher tells us. We do what parents tell us. We do what we think society wants from us. But really, when you're in the gym, it is you for you. And nobody else knows if you're skipping sets, if you're skipping reps, or if you're grabbing a candy bar after school. Nobody else knows, and nobody else really cares. But when you can be honest with yourself and show up, like Will decided, we aren't people that routinely do this, but Will was inspired to give up something for Lent. And he's like, I'm not going to do desserts anymore. And what an incredible thing for a 10-year-old to do, Will. Can you kind of talk about that?
So, like, I basically did, like, no Lent for, like, from Ash Wednesday, which was
in late February.
Late February, all the way to Easter, which was just now last week. Mm-hmm. And, like, I did basically
6 weeks.
I did 6 weeks. I didn't do the full thing. Like, the last 2 days, I remember I cut off because I wanted ice cream. But, like, still, I did a somewhat good job, and it's about trying and not... It's just about trying and, like, yeah.
Making a commitment and then sticking through to it.
Yes.
Because we could say, oh, I'm going to give that up. But is that realistic? Can we give it up forever? No, but certainly we can develop that mental strength to short-term give something up because we know the results will be there in the end. We kind of skipped right over that you and I had the opportunity to actually lift together at the Iowa State Fair. There was a powerlifting competition last summer, and Will committed to training, and so then he was able to participate on the team. And honestly, one of the most enjoyable moments of my entire life in these 46 years was I got called out to the stage at the same time Will did. So here we are, both bench pressing on 2 different platforms, and they're like, Will Penner, Mellissa Penner, lifters ready, and we both got our lift. That lift is good. And so to be able to share the stage with somebody else, it always reminds me that that's because I made that commitment to myself. I showed up for myself. Then that allows me to create this atmosphere where my son sees that if you do set those goals and you keep consistent with it, you absolutely can become whatever it is that you want to. It's not, you're not going to be able to buy that. You're not going to be able to find a quick way to it. Your podcast series is not going to go viral and get picking up on the national chain in the first 2 weeks. But after that, the sky could very well be the limit.
You never know. I hope this podcast does take off because we're already over here sitting at 101 subscribers. Like, I hope somewhat of this video gets at least like 5 views or some viewers on this.
What's your goal? What do you want people to know?
I just want them to know what about fitness and nutrition, trying to change your lifestyle up a little bit, just a better lifestyle, basically.
A lifestyle. I am a big believer in that it is small habits that become your lifestyle. I was a girl who was put on a diet a lot. My mom she played volleyball and she was really active. She worked in the garden, but she didn't really love to exercise, and she had a sweet tooth. I grew up with soda, and peanut M&Ms were constantly available in a big, huge container all the time. And, there's times that you can have treats. However, if we do that every single day, slowly over time, you're going to put on more and more weight each year. Whereas when you're young and your body is still growing, you can start to lean out by adding more activity. But if we can develop those habits that make up a lifestyle, we don't have to make a decision because it's just kind of part of who you are. We've been talking about since Will was determined to kind of give up the sweets and go without desserts, that maybe we make treats a special occasion. Like, why are we going out for ice cream after school? Well, yeah, is that really the best plan? Is that really actually even that enjoyable? If you can get ice cream every single day, is it even special? Nah. Do we need that extra sugar in our bodies? Probably not. But what happens when we go celebrate a birthday? Absolutely. Let's celebrate that person. Let's celebrate that accomplishment. On Thanksgiving, we want to have some pie. That's great, but we probably shouldn't have a mile-high lemon meringue pie sitting on my counter every single day of the week, because suddenly that's not even a special event, and that becomes your lifestyle. And if that's your lifestyle, it's going to have a hard time keeping up all the energy and everything that you want to be doing.
I like pie. 3.1414.15.
We added an extra point there, but there's no harm in that.
1. I don't know pie yet. I'm only in 4th grade. But basically it's not about just when you all looking at what do we call it? Bodybuilding?
Training
weekly. I even have this weekly workouts that I do at home every day, just in case I can't make it to the gym, because my brother Joe does not like going to the gym that often
yet.
He did today because today it's Saturday. That's when we're filming this. This is going up on Monday. But basically he came this morning, and he doesn't necessarily let us go every day of the week. I would want to go every day of the week except for Tuesday, because cardio is crazy. But
but if it becomes a habit and that's what you want to do, you take the decision out of it. Like Joe signed up for basketball. We had basketball practice every week for 10 weeks straight. We had games on Saturdays. You make that commitment, and he did phenomenal showing up for that. But if it's not his time or his environment, then he's not going to be able to keep it up, and it doesn't become part of your lifestyle. That's really important for nutrition too, because
lifestyle nutrition.
A lifestyle, right? Because you build it into your lifestyle to make you feel a lifestyle. I can't explain the difference I feel. I'm about 140 pounds down now, 150 on a really light day. That's a big difference, carrying around that amount of weight on your body. And I really believe that the younger you are, it's about developing those habits and learning to grow within your body, because I tell you, it does not get easier, nor will you ever have more time to become more active.
Okay. So, but like, I don't. We also like do like a lot of activities. Like we go to the park a lot and like basically just like play, but like, yeah.
Get out and get moving and get sunshine. If you have the chance, you should be getting outside and under the sunshine, get some fresh air, get moving around your body.
So, yeah.
What have you gotten out of the gym, Will? What has it done for you?
It's given me like a more chance to like I feel like this summer it's gonna be like last year I didn't really feel like comfortable like going to the pool, being like shirtless, like walking around shirtless. But like I think this time, being at the pool this summer, or like the park or anything, will be a lot more like hopefully better. And like my goal for this year, 2024, one of my New Year's resolutions was to get fit / a 6-pack, or an 8-pack, or a 12-pack, or a 16-pack, or a 24-pack.
So when you say get fit, that's a pretty big goal, right? What does that mean to you? What's involved in that?
Like eating healthier and like not being as plain foot. Not being as like chunky, I should say. Like I want to be like more healthier. Like I don't want to be like walking around like with shorts on. Like, you see my giant, like, all that. I don't want all that stuff on my legs.
So you'd like to change your body?
Yes.
How?
Like, losing all fat.
Lose fat and gain muscle. Yep.
And I think the hard part is I'm gaining all the muscle. Like, I have a lot of muscle underneath all the fat. I just need to, like, lose the fat, I feel like.
Well, you are not alone. I was just talking to our other coach, Tyler, a couple weeks ago about how I have all these pictures, right? I lost like 25 pounds in 6 weeks, and then I lost like 15 pounds in the next 6 weeks, and those were all after pictures. And then here I am at the start of April, and I'm like, this is a brand new before picture, because your body's going to continue to grow in different ways. And we really do hold on to fat. Actually, if you're eating a lot of sugar, bag sugar, we're not talking blueberries, bananas, natural fruit. We're talking about sugar that comes in a bag you have to crack open, and it is very, very sweet, and it makes you want more. If our body doesn't burn that off, it is designed to store it as fat. And a good friend of mine back in high school, I still keep in touch with her now. It was back in the 1900s, like Will used to say. But when I was a sophomore in high school, I was a pretty big girl. I was actually 180 pounds. Now I'm about 165. So looking back, was bigger then than I am now, which is really hard for me to fathom. I was wearing size 16 jeans. Now I'm between a 10 and a 12. It's really difficult for me to comprehend. But my basketball team had an hour a week that the girls could go in and train in the weight room. We didn't really know what we were doing. The football coach would kind of help us. But there were a couple girlfriends of mine, one in particular who ends up, she like coaches cross country now, no coincidence. But she was like, nope, I need to go run. If I put on a bunch of muscle over all this fat, she was going to really get bulky. She was not as tall as me, and our bodies are all built a little bit different, but she's exactly right. At the time, I didn't understand that. But as Will said, you absolutely can grow muscle or put fat on over your muscle. So even though you're growing muscles, we still have unhealthy fat around, especially that in our organs. We can't see that. But that is what accumulates when we have too much sugar. You think about how our bodies have changed, how time has changed. Very rarely are kids walking home and walking to school. When we go to make dinner, we're not standing at the stove peeling potatoes. I don't have to go out and hunt my own chicken and then peel off all the feathers. I don't have to do all of that. I go to the grocery store and then I put it in my pan. So we're not burning the same amount of energy that our great-grandparents did or our grandparents. So we have to really be intentional about getting a lot more physical activity for our bodies, especially as there is no shortage of prepackaged foods available for us. After all, at elementary school, they even have snack time, and crackers, chips, Rice Krispie treats, that is what these kids are eating in the middle of the day. I often wonder, is that giving them the energy that they need to focus, or is that short-term little sugar just to give them a little bit more to get through the end of the day? So we have an opportunity to do better, but our atmosphere, our lifestyles, the world around us is not really set up to have to burn the amount of calories that we are taking in.
So, like, right now, I'm, like, a 10-year-old in 4th grade, and I'm eating, like, snack 2 hours before lunch in the morning. So, like, there's, like, not even, like, why even eat snack? Like, there's some kids, like, don't eat breakfast, but, like, just, like, eat breakfast and then you don't have to eat a snack.
What kind of breakfast? Well, what sticks to your ribs? Can you tell a difference? Like, some days, he used to like cereal.
Yeah. I used to have, like, bowls. Do we have a bowl like that? Wait. Let me look. I used to eat bowls, like, 2 times this size.
That's a lot. Probably, if we think about a cup of cereal is usually a serving, that easily holds 2 cups of cereal. And if you do the math, you're looking at maybe 80 grams of sugar alone in that bowl to start the day.
And then, plus that, I have milk, which, like, filled it up really, really high. So, like, that's a lot. It was almost, like, overflowing. And, like, also I used to eat, like, giant bowls of chips, like, that size that I just showed you, like, after school every day.
So serving size is a really big one. If you want to have 12 Doritos, have your 12 Doritos. But I think that what you will figure out is once you really start getting into the nutrition focus, it's not nearly as satisfying as having, Will does a great job of getting his carrots at school, he packs his own lunch, and he finds that his breakfast burrito where we have eggs, sausage, bacon.
Sausage or bacon. And
that satisfies you for a lot longer, right? It sticks with you. Your body can use that to really build your machine and your fire, right? Because that's what's inside, is we're burning all of the time because food truly is energy. Yeah. But then if we don't use that energy, it's going to store. That is how the body's designed.
There's also, like, good types of energy and, like, bad types of energy. Like, if you had, like, a bunch of sugar, like, for an example, like Coke or, like, pop or, like, soda, or what I am going to do, it's, like, it's bad energy. It, like, gives you that energy for, like, an hour, but then, like, after that hour, you're, like, really, really tired, and you don't want to get up, and you just sit in the car for half an hour so you can't film the podcast.
Right? And then a lot of the times, though, we have that, and those products don't have water in them. So not only are we taking in items, but we're also then depleting our cells even more. Should we let the dog out? He's not the best little podcaster.
Sure.
So when you have fruit or meat, like if you think about watermelon, cantaloupe, grapes, berries, although there's sugar present in there, there's such a high volume of water. I want to say cucumbers are like 98% water. So all of that is naturally fueling into your body compared to that bag of Doritos. What exactly in there is going to give you energy? Is it the orange, yellow, number 14? Do you think that's really going to get our bodies moving and help us to grow more muscle? Probably not. And then that short-term sugar, we got a lot of energy, we extremely hyper, but then the low blood sugar crash will follow. And if we do that time and time again, our bodies are not going to be able to utilize that sugar as efficiently.
Like, talking about, like, bad sugars and good sugars, some good sugars are, like, T-bombs. Like, show the T-bomb.
No.
Okay.
Not T-bombs. That's not a good example because there's no sugar in them. But if you, I'm sorry, so cut, we'll edit that. But let's try that again. Good sugars. Think about some good sugars that you get at the grocery store.
Meat.
There's some. Meat is definitely more of a protein. And what protein is amino acids that help to build our muscles. That's how we develop muscles. We have to have protein in there to fuel those muscle fibers. Because when you're exercising and lifting weights, you're actually tearing your muscles. You're stretching them in new ways. And then they go and repair. And then they grow. Whereas our fat cells, as we deplete them, those cells get smaller. Fat cells never go away. Okay, there are always the same number of fat cells in your bodies. But if we're not feeding them the excess sugar, they will shrink and take up a lot less space than when you're a high body percent of body fat.
Earlier I saw this funny show at the gym this morning. It said, sweat is fat crying.
I feel that some days, especially when we get into cardio. But the most incredible part, I think, that we don't talk enough about is that mental strength of doing what you set out to. We do a lot of high-intensity interval training or HIIT training, and that's where you push yourself really hard for 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, sometimes even 45 seconds. And it's very easy to stop and say, what happened today, Will, when you were jump roping?
So today I'm not a really good jump rope at all. I could only get like 2 jump ropes in a row. And then Mom was making me like jump up and down, like trying to like practice over and over and over, not without the jump rope. And like when I was doing that, I got really tired and I just wanted to like quit almost.
You know, our legs get tired. Our brain tells us, but are our legs really that tired, or do we have it in our mind that I should be tired, I should quit, I should stop?
It's your brain is tired before your legs, basically.
Our legs really can keep pushing, but we have to develop that mental discipline to push ourselves until that timer. And that's what takes consistency over time. You can't start that way. Nobody's designed that way. We want to rest. Our grandparents, again, they were my grandparents, great-grandparents, Will's great-great-grandparents, there were times when they were getting across this world by wagon, right? They had ox and they were farming, and their bodies were designed to protect because they had to be so very active. They had to go outside to use the bathroom, right? So a lot of differences here into what we have today. And so our bodies, our same metabolism is true, but instead we have a lot of excess calorie, sugar, and we just don't quite have that mental strength to finish what we start. That really will give you an ed up in life, right? If we figure out that we can get through just about anything, that's pretty empowering.
And, talk about, like, my great-great-grandparents, or whole great-grandparents, like, getting to school. Like, parents always tell this story, like, when we're tired, like, we have to, like, drive a car to school. Like, parents have to drive us to school. They always say, when they say walk to school, they're like, when I was a kid, I walked over the mountains and through the ocean and over the forest.
I had to go uphill both ways in the snow. You know, they're talking that maybe kids did have to walk 2 miles. There were not buses. That we live in a city. Ankeny, okay. And if you live more than 2 miles from school, a bus will come to your house.
That's dumb.
It's unusual. We're very fortunate to have a lot of resources. However, what happened to the kids hopping on their bicycles and riding 2 miles? That is really like a 10-minute bike ride, okay? And so I understand parents work, our homes are different. However, we're not getting the same amount of activity that our grandparents did. And then when they came home, they had to do their chores. They had to go out to the garden and pick their vegetables. There was no Hy-Vee or Fairway grocery delivery service.
Or Publix.
Right? Or Publix or Albertsons or Instacart. Instead, we had to actually go out to the farm and do that.
And same with food. Like, you can't just get on your phone and just, like, order Grubhub or Uber Eats or DoorDash or McDonald's or Chick-fil-A. They'll just show up to your house. Like back in the day, they had to go get meat. They had to go hunt animals.
Go make the bread, from scratch with flour.
Sourdough.
We have sourdough starter going over there to make our own loaves of bread. But all that stuff takes time, but that's also energy that our body is using.
Awkward silence. But like also,
I'd say, what else, Will, do you get out of the gym? Do you see it helping you anywhere else in life? I remember you saying last year in football.
Agility. I thought last year in football I was slow. Like, I couldn't run from one way to the big. Like, yeah, I was a big dude, and I still am. Like, I can chuck really good. But, like, I can chuck. But, like, I played flag, so it didn't really come in helpful. So, basically, like, now I'm trying, running more and, like, practicing more runs. And now I'm getting, like, and, like, also with agility. In football, you need agility, so...
To be able to side movement. And you have to be sharp, you have to be lean, and your core has to be strong to be able to hold that body all together.
Now I'm doing core workouts every Monday, unless I'm sick, like the last 2 Mondays. Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
Right, and then you maybe won't be a weightlifter for life, but learning how to work with your muscles really gives a person that foundation for any sport or musical or art that you want to do in the future, because again, you're developing that mental discipline for finishing what you start and then honestly showing up for you. That's probably the biggest one that people don't talk enough about, is like, if you're unhappy in your body, we can be miserable and we can be sad and we can feel, man, my friends are faster than me. Or we can say, I'm going to start to make a few little changes here, and I know I'm not going to be as fast as the fastest kid in my class by tomorrow. But you know what? Next summer, I may be a little bit more confident. I might not get quite as winded. And if we can do that a little bit more each year, then you'll only continue to develop better habits and a better sense of self within your own body.
Like, even out in my lunch, like, I used to have, like, this giant sandwich bag full of chips and, like, peanut butter jelly sandwich, or, like, 2 jellies and peanut butter. And also, I usually didn't have bananas or blueberries or some of that. I had, like, 3 carrots, but, like, I also had cookies, and, like, I had time with me.
And talk about it, though. Now you make your own lunch.
Yeah.
Why does that help so much for you?
It helps me because I get, like, a mental strategy of, like, what's in my lunch. What do I need to put in my lunch? It's like a daily routine I have. I always put a peanut butter jelly sandwich with only 1 jelly, which is usually grape. Well, apricot, but we never have apricot. But and then I have, like, a little bag of chips. Like, maybe, like, 2 handfuls, and it's not even unhealthy. It's just smart food like popcorn. Is that unhealthy?
Popcorn has some benefits over some of the chips. It's a lot of times, I was once told, if your nutrition label has more than 5 ingredients on it, then you should think twice. And that's really tricky in this world. You know what doesn't have a lot of ingredients on it?
Water.
Fruit. Vegetables, water, whole foods. When you buy a piece of chicken, it's chicken. If you get breaded and fried chicken sandwich, now you're going to be looking at 15 different ingredients, plus the mayonnaise ingredients, plus the bread ingredients. And before you know it, you could have 50 different ingredients that you're eating to just get a chicken sandwich.
Let's actually see how many ingredients are inside of a chicken sandwich or something. So, how many
ingredients
in
GR-EV, how many ingredients are in McDonald's French fries?
So let's see.
That's what Google popped up for us. So you would think potatoes and oil, right? Maybe some salt. If you make them at home, you're likely going to have, you could make fries, fresh potatoes, you could cut them up, we could put them in olive or avocado oil, an oil that is a little bit more pure compared to something made in a factory. But when we have frozen foods and then refried, because remember, every single restaurant that has the same name gets boxes and boxes of food coming in. So it has to look the same in every single restaurant. So there's no way that is made fresh, right?
Yep.
So what do we got? What is going on?
So it says there are 19. There are only 19 ingredients. In addition to different oils, the lists include several chemicals, perform various functions, including ones like adds flavor, anti-foaming agent that keeps oil from splattering, another aimed at keeping the potatoes from going gray, and preservatives.
So there's a lot more than just potatoes. That's a really good idea. Simple thing as a French fry. And we can find potato chips or smart popcorn that has very few ingredients, or you can find it where it has a whole laundry list of flavors and things. And again, the goal is to preserve it. That means that it's no longer fresh and it can survive on the shelf as long as possible. When you pull an apple off of a tree, it does not have preservatives in it. When you get some apple sauce, they have added sugars, they've added things to make it be able to stay on that shelf for a very long time. There's a difference in how many useful nutrients will be coming from that food if it's shelf worthy. Not everything will always be fresh, but we can sometimes make better choices. When in doubt, stick with whole foods and try to look to see if you can get 5 or fewer ingredients.
And but there's a lot of stuff. Ingredients. Dang it. Ingredients in chicken sandwiches or anything nowadays, basically.
Because they want to be able to
make you eat more.
Well, and they have to be able to have it at the same restaurant, every single place, every town, from coast to coast, or wherever in the globe you are. We can all go and get that same cheeseburger. Yep. It's not a piece of meat being pounded out and then grilled or cooked or sauteed right in front of you. It's going through high volumes of food. We're mass producing.
The only McDonald's that makes it fresh is there's this one in Florida somewhere. It's where first international McDonald's. There's everything that it's basically a hibachi grill, McDonald's thing, and they sell pizza too,
Oh, pizza, that's a good one. We could talk a lot about pizza. Pizza's an all-time favorite. It's good every once in a while, but pizza probably shouldn't be our go-to. Why, Will?
It shouldn't, because it has a lot of fatness. The dough, it's
a lot of dough. My favorite pizza, the crust is this big. They even serve it with honey. So not only do you get your dough, now let's spread nature's beautiful, trusted, pure sugar honey on it, which is good, but not when added to my dough, because then it's covered in 18 pounds of cheese and meat. But one slice is great. It's the problem when you get 3 and then the next day you want some more pizza because your body is hungry for those carbohydrates.
We do that a lot. Sometimes we even go to Pizza Ranch twice a week. Pizza Ranch is this buffet pizza place, and it has chicken too. We go there a lot. This is Joe's favorite place. It's the only place he'll eat because he's picky.
And that's important as you get older to continue to try different types of foods and challenge, because we can get these foods, they're called hyper palpable, right? And to our palate, they taste really good and they make you want to have more. Whereas if we can eat a variety of fresh foods, we can actually improve and not get stuck in ruts where we think that the only thing sounds good is pizza.
There's also other foods out there that are just as bad.
He's saying there's other foods out there that are just as bad. I'm gonna pause, Will. That might be.
So, thank you for watching, guys. We're to end this podcast. This is the first episode. There'll be another episode next week, 2 weeks, I think. April 21st, hopefully. And,
this is how life goes. We can really do small bits of things, but we have to stay focused. Will wanted to get this podcast started today. He's been asking me for weeks, and here we do. We knocked out that first one. You get it done. You try something new, and then you reevaluate, and hopefully the next time we can continue to be a little bit more planned and have some guests here to share their insights and what's working.
So, follow me on Instagram at It's Fernando. Follow her on Instagram at whatever.
A lifestyle nutrition.
Yep. Bye.
Stay well.
Bye. Subscribe.